nwanyị a gara gwa ndị mmadụ sị, ọ gwara m ihe niile m mere. Onye mara ma ọ bụ ya bụ Kristi. He told me everything that I have done. Who knows if he is the Messiah, the Christ? Akụkọ nwanyị Samaria, John chapter 4. A moving story of a personal encounter with Christ. A story that can be your story and my story. Oge ọbụla a na-akọrọ anyị akụkọ na Bible, anyị maara na onye a na-eke ha maọbụ ndị a na-ekwu maka ha na-anọchite anya anyị n'ụzọ dị iche iche. The characters in sacred scripture represent us in many ways. What God tells them, He tells us as well. Ụka gara aga, anyị nọ n'elu ugwu, where we are taken to the mountain last Sunday. The mountain of the Transfiguration. Today, we have moved again. You remember we moved from the desert of temptation to the mountain of Transfiguration. Today, the scriptures move us from the mountain of the Transfiguration to the well of persuasion. Persuasion. Jesu ji nwayọ nwayọ na-akpanyere nwaanyị a nkata, na-eme ka uche ya bịa n'ụzọ ọ chọrọ izie na ihe ọ chọrọ ka o mee. So from the mountain of the Transfiguration, where we saw Christ's glory, to the well, Jacob's well, the well of persuasion. And from the mountain of divine glory, we saw the clouds, we heard the voice on the mountain of the Transfiguration, and Jesus' clothes and appearance were all transfigured and dazzling. From that mountain of divine glory, we have now moved to the well of human need. Now, last Sunday we heard about Jesus fully and truly God. Now he is truly man. Human needs. We have moved from the mountain of true divinity. This is my beloved Son. To the well of true humanity. Please, can you give me some water? Jesu bụ Chukwu ezie, bụrụ mmadụ ezie. The movement is very dramatic but very instructive, because it is also a movement from the mountain of divine majesty, which we should never forget, to the valley, to the well of divine compassion. The majesty of God made the apostles afraid on the mountain of the Transfiguration. But the compassion of God was shown in Jesus, who knew the past of this woman, and yet patiently, lovingly led her to an intimate encounter that changed her life. Love changes. A person who is not changed by love, a person who is not converted by love, is lost forever. Ihe mmụta dị n'akụkọ a karịa n'ọba anyị were ole ma ole. We have to bear in mind, first of all, this encounter at the well is not the only one we read in the Bible. In the book of Genesis, chapter 24, Isaac encountered Rebekah, his wife, at the spring. Isaac asked God for a sign. And God gave him that sign in Rebekah. And again she was alone. Isaac was asking for water. Mana Rebekah maganobu nwunye ojala bochok. It wasn't thirst that led Isaac to ask Rebekah for a favor. He was looking for a sign for a wife to marry. And Rebekah gave him water. And we know the rest of the story. In this one, you notice Jesus asked this woman for water. But kedihe nwanyị a bịara ịchọ n'oke ishushu ọlọ na well alone. How come she was alone in that hot afternoon? And ọbịakọnụ ọgabụ mgbe Jesu zufumere ụmụazị ya ka ha je gote nri, and she met Jesus alone. St. Paul tells us in his letter to the Romans chapter 8, for those who love God, all things work together unto their good. Nothing that happens in the life of a believer is pure coincidence. There is always the hand of God in what happens in your life. You may not understand it now. Eka chukodea. Providence. What in secular language we call coincidence, in religious language is really divine providence. Those who know the geography of the Holy Land well explain that between the city and that well there were other streams and springs. Why did the woman cross so many to come to that well? The explanation is, you have had 5 husbands, and the one you are living with now is not your husband. Now for this woman. Ije n'obodo a nwaanyị a shifụta ọdụnu gaga na-eke ezigbo ha. A na-ekwu maka onye ke lọọ mara njọ omise na ọ bụ onye enye lọọ mara njikọ omise ma o nwere nke ya na-abụ nwọcha ma ọ bụghị jie. What type of woman could this be? And which woman in the village would want to be associated with her? Probably nobody. And that explains why she did her things alone. Rejected, abused, ridiculed. She chose a quiet time to go to the well and not to any other source of water where she may encounter other women. But she went very far to the well of Jacob. at the outskirts of the town. She must have been coming regularly, but on this particular day, she met Jesus. Jesus initiated the conversation. And really, he was tired. He was thirsty. He needed water. He was not pretending. But at the end, you discover he didn't drink that water. Also, you discover he was hungry. His disciples went to the town to buy some food. And they came back, offered him food. He didn't eat that food. The woman came to fetch water. And she left her bucket at the well and went back to the town. She didn't fetch that water. There is an illustration I give to this type of experience. Mothers. Imagine a mother. Shashwa lata. Ashwa bogo against the shade. No shade. Now that part of Ogige Mobodi Oba. Game wegi shade. But ne titia won. Na akpakpara okoch. Hagdola na hanimashwa. Until 4 or 5 or later, eguji ishi na wire mbolaja ogote panadol sina ya laru ya rie dogwa so nwaya tai ya mni go latara anasi ya mama yo o woftele te ko ba osita ya mi ma angdrogu mishije yoyi ozugbo na atata mnya ha onume ọrịa nwa otifu mkpu nwatakịrị a tie mkpu ti ọmar na ihe emebiri ozugbo ovuru mnyi dobe kporo ọgwụ wash gịnị na-eme ọ bụrụ na nwatakịrị gburu onwe ya ụma ihe m nwaanyị ji eme bụ o ji ekilite nwa ọchọmi o ji eje ke n'eka ma ọbara akwụsị ọ bụrụ na o metegie ọsọ to chemist ya m na-agwụ na ọ bụ ihe ji eme so ọ bụgo ọsọ to chemist because ọbara na-eme like this ya na chemist jegide kpo ọ bụrụ na enwe ike jide ya bụ ọbara ọ ga-agba ego ọzọ o kelete nwa ọ ga-aradoye eme ma okoro ụra o tukwuru n'oche na palọ ụra vrute ya ọzọ die lata ọ sị madam gede gị tukwu n'oche ekora like this gịnị junior minya ha tatara ka dọrọ mba tatari ọgwụ ahụ ekpotere ka wụshiri mba ọ wụshiri ya isi na awarịdị ya echi ezo mee eziokwu ka ọ bụ asị and that's also a lesson. Any time in your life that you concentrate only on your own problem, the problem will multiply and become greater. But once you have some time to help others who are in need, you forget your problem until it disappears. Jacob's well. Genesis chapter 33. Talks about Jacob buying this property and how it was eventually bequeathed. Mano nwere ihe ọzọ anyị tochiri ịmụta. Jesu na-ekpoko ndị ụwa na-ekewe. Ndị Samaria na ndị Jew enweghị mmekọ. 2 Kings chapter 17. The origin of the Samaritans. People whom the Jews regarded as impure, and they should have nothing to do with the Jews. But this woman asked a question, very interested. Are you greater than our father, Jacob, who gave us this well? The Jews and the Samaritans both call Jacob father. All the divisions we have in the world today are man-made because our nature is basically the same. Our emotions are the same. Our hunger, thirst, needs are the same. Why are we allowing human and sociological constructs to divide us? Tribe, Igbo tribe, Yoruba tribe, Hausa tribe, Ejo tribe, Tivu tribe. Under Professor Nonwabe Agbasa Onubia Kamanimi Anek tribe Nigbo. That word has no translation in any African language, yet it is the basis of our division. Tribe. Are you greater than our father, our common father? Let us think of that thing that holds us together. Start looking for a point of contact with that person whom you may regard as your enemy. Come to me, all you who labor and are overburdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. This woman came because she was also thirsty. She needed water. But she encountered Jesus, who invites everybody who is in need, who is thirsty, hungry, to come to him. With the woman, Jesus was talking about water. With the disciples, Jesus was talking about food. Food and drink. Food and water. Two essential needs of every human being. Don't pay attention only to the water you drink now. Pay attention to the water of life. Now, Womazia, I have eaten food that you don't know. The will of my Father gives me satisfaction. Doing his will. Gana kpatar. Na onye nwere power na-achọ more power. Onye nwere ego na-achọ ego karịa. If you have money, you want more money. If you have power, you want more power. If you are pretty, you want to be prettier still. And so on and so forth, because those things don't really satisfy real human hunger, which is hunger for God. But what I want us to take home today, when Jesus told this woman to go and call her husband, I have no husband, no pretense. That was the only thing she said, and Jesus answered, you spoke the truth. He knew everything about her. But no word of condemnation, no word of criticism, no word of judgment. Kain wori na onu manayin bondo bishop nando father bondo nochere Jesu no waketa, especially on the altar and while preaching the word and dispensing the sacraments, ministering the sacraments. As ministers of the word and sacraments, we act in the person and in the name of Christ. Can you know when one girl in the parish or a boy in the parish? This boy will young money massing heaven banner kai and they go zitele negashwa mamaya oje wori egbar bet naija on 10 years na university mo gahelege first year. Or a girl, every single month, another man is stopping in front of their house or jump or either into car or kada or keke, fiam, or halile maria. Some will even know what she has done about various pregnancies. Father, my bishop, meet this girl alone. Say, Anekindigi, this boy. Look at you, this girl. You are not even ashamed of yourself. How long will you keep living like this? You don't know the shame and the pain you are causing your parents. When will you learn to become a responsible human being? Look at where all your mates are. Every time in a purity, you think you will ever be a human being like that? I'm sorry for you, Onye Yikomara. Your case is already lost. Do you think that boy the next Sunday will then walk into the church? Or that girl the next day will walk into the church? Come on, Jejeno Loka. The next Sunday, Onumamba Nekukwe or Baokada Jegden Boz. Because that judgment, that criticism, that condemnation definitively alienates him or her from the church and from God's mercy. But if the conversation were to change, persuasion, bros, now wow, this country hard though. I know. Why no they follow Sion now? I say, Father, no be today. Why not today? No be our type. Our type no they follow Sion. Why on our type no go follow Sion? Now on our type go sabi waiting till young Sion members and they go agree. Because if all those were there for Sacred Heart and Legion of Mary, if then they yarn, then go think say that one only spiritual talk. But you self, where they cult before, if you can't tell them say cultism no good, they go listen to you. Father, now wow, I don't know whether I go fit. Come, I go there. Is that boy likely to come or not? He is more likely to come. Compassion, love converts more than judgment and criticism. But above all, Jesus knew everything about this woman and patiently kept inviting her until she got to the point that she even forgot her bucket and became herself a missionary, leading others to Jesus Christ. She did not know whom she was talking to. But Jesus knew who she was and insisted. There is a story that I took from my friend, a Cameroonian priest, Father Emile Martin de Bongwe. It tells the story of a man who had a minor operation, minor surgery. And on the day he was to remove the stitches from his thumb, he went to the hospital to have the stitches removed, but he was in a hurry. The nurse took his blood pressure and asked him to sit down. But the man kept looking at his watch. The nurse asked him, "Sir, it seems you have another appointment." He said, "Yes. My wife is not well. She suffers from Alzheimer. Alzheimer is this disease that makes people lose their memory. And because the woman was suffering from Alzheimer, she has been transferred from their home to a nursing home. But this man told the nurse, "I have to go and be with her at 9 o'clock for breakfast. So let's hurry up." And the nurse asked, "Okay, I understand that your wife will be angry if you are late." And the man answered, "No, she doesn't even remember me again. She doesn't recognize me. She no longer knows who I am. And the nurse, surprised, asked him, your wife doesn't know you anymore, and you are still going to her every day to have breakfast? And the man said, yes. She does not know who I am, but I know who she is. She doesn't know who I am, but I know who she is. That is why I'm still going. You may not now know who Jesus is. You may not understand him well, but he knows who you are. He understands where you are and where you were. He knows everything about me. He knows my past life, yet he is not tired of me. He still loves me. He gives me another chance. If you leave your empty and broken bucket at the well of the living water of Christ, not only will he fill that bucket with water that will give you life, but you will also begin to draw other people to him. And they too will say, it is no longer what you said. It is now our experience of the Lord. He knows you, even if you don't know him. He knows your past. He hasn't lost hope in you. It is his knowledge of you, his love for you, that matters at last.